people business. Leave people business alone. Leave people business alone. Oh God.
And I say one time people them used to say one sweet nanny goat and go run in belly. So when we touching at the street, nobody see it. Don't you feel we things and not the people say you give it.
Ooh, them can't look in on my face and then when I want yes, I could score. Who know it already now, go make it do it no more, mister.
Chatty, Mount Mercy, mix up. People business.
Good God, I tell you about. Now see near God, no sin nearby your place one fix up. Why you not allow people business?
Leave people business alone.
Yeah, leave people business alone. Oh God, don't show them chatty, me can't live in.
WEFM is SVG.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Alrighty, so the time here in SVG, it is 8:09, and we are back with you for another commentary segment of today's Activated Morning program. And Dianna and I just learned a valuable learning lesson with regards to live initially in the first segment. Our apologies, because we didn't realize, but we learned our lesson, all right? So our apologies, but we're happy that you've come back with us for this particular segment. All right. I just want to say something before we continue. In the commentary section with Mr. Lansford, I know that it is the time of the year where many persons would be going to financial institutions to take student loans, etc. Right? And it's not that I'm making it sound as if taking a student loan is necessarily a bad thing. Like it's going to be a weight around your neck, etc. But I think that one of the things that, and I would have said it here before, but I just wanted to say it again, it's you have to be mindful of the amount that you borrow, and you have to be mindful of how you repay it when you come back. All right. So when you return from studying, or even while you are studying, depending on the type of loan that you took, because I would have taken the economically disadvantaged loan. So I repay the interest when I came back, etc. Right? But the thing of it is just be mindful, get proper financial advice when you return from studying so that you would make the best possible payments, because after student loan, you kind of want to start your life, right? And you don't want for it to be a weight around your neck. So those persons who may not have been able to get the opportunity to get a scholarship, but you have to take a student loan, just be mindful of certain things, all right? But get proper advice. And that's all I want to say on that for now, because our topic right now is not student loan, right? Our topic has to deal with money, right? But we are talking about other people's business and their money. All right, so let's jump right into it. So we are going to be reading from Asboth News Network. A story first appeared on the 10th of August, which would have been on Saturday, titled Non-Payment Controversy Clouds ICC World Cup Services in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right, so it reads, in a troubling development following the ICC Men's T20 World Cup events in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which took place from June 1st to June 29th, 2024, numerous workers, including police officers, DJs, caterers, and other service providers, have raised serious complaints about not being compensated for their efforts. The situation has sparked widespread frustration and calls for accountability from the relevant authorities. According to exclusive reports obtained by Asboth News Network, and many police officers who provided crucial security services during the tournament have not received the promised payments. The officers were reportedly assured a compensation rate of $60 per hour for duties that spanned hotel security, practice matches, and the game day operations. However, despite their hard work, these officers have been left empty-handed. One officer, speaking on the condition of anonymity, expressed deep concern about the financial strain caused by the non-payment as the school year approaches. The officer said, "I was depending on that money to prepare my child for school." However, adding that she has to now resort to a loan to cover essential expenses. Another officer described the situation as being treated like fools after their dedicated service. Continuing, in efforts to seek clarification and resolution from higher authorities, efforts to seek clarification and resolution from higher authorities have been told to count this as a loss. This response has only fueled the frustration among those. Yeah.
All right. So that was the article that came out on the 10th of now yesterday. Was it yesterday? Let me make sure the date is correct. The 13th. Yes, yesterday. Another article came out. Was lead security firm supervisor addresses workers' concerns over ICC Cricket World Cup payments. Center Asworth News Network, a lead supervisor from a prominent security firm has addressed workers' frustration regarding delayed payments for their services during the ICC Men's T20 World Cup hosted by the West Indies. In one recording, and I'm not going to read everything, and I'm going to leave out names. If you want to see the names in the articles mentioned, you could go and read it on Asworth News Network, right? In one recording, the supervisor directly tells workers who are complaining about not working because of money owed from the World Cup. Quoting directly, "Girl, where you don't stay out people chat, stay out the people chat. You, and the name is called, stay out of people chat. That's the same thing I'm saying now. That's the same thing I've been saying now. This person, if you're not interested, don't say anything. That's why they made the statement on us. So don't come around the chat and discourage people. If you don't want to work, you do not work, right?" So as I said, it's a series of voice notes that were sent to the... Another comment comes in stating, or another part of the dialogue says, "You get paid for carnival yet? Nobody get paid for carnival yet. Here's an opportunity to add to your money or leave it wait there. You're coming with your stupidness, but all you're now paying people. Anybody get paid? Company ain't even get paid, invoice ain't even sent out yet. You're talking thing. And me vexing her. That's why thing." All right, so it continues a bit further. And this is commentary, or this was comments coming from the supervisor. The supervisor added, saying, "If you want to see money every day, get a shop. So when you wait on payment, you don't know that. When you work with somebody, you have to wait. Okay, let me say that again. When you work with somebody, you have to wait. You have to. Other than that, be self-employed." That self-employed thing just triggered me. But anyway, okay. Thank you very much. And the supervisor's name was never mentioned. Now, in another recording, the CEO of the firm came in. "Good night, all. This is Mr. and name is mentioned here. I know all of you are angry because you haven't been paid as yet, but please, is it that anyone doesn't want to pay y'all's money? They are awaiting their payment. The security company are awaiting payment from Cricket West Indies. A lot of money has to be paid out, and you all have to realize that. Please wait. You don't need to send these messages, these derogatory messages, right?" Then he being the CEO, continues saying, "There are other countries that hosted cricket. Over 1,000 providers have to be paid. I'm making an effort to get Cricket West Indies to pay the security firms, and the security firms are pressuring me, just like how you are pressuring the security companies. Please, the way you all are getting on, show some respect. So, man, there's no need for that. No one is stealing y'all money or thief y'all money. You all would be paid. None of that security company has, or none of the security company received any money as yet. It's a problem, not that Cricket West Indies doesn't want to pay. All right. Just to add that ANN reached out to Dr. Kishore Shallow of CWI, who issued the following statement. CWI is awaiting ICCB disbursement to complete outstanding payments for service providers from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Appreciably, thousands of payments will be made across the US and the Caribbean, which require compliance with accounting procedures. Notwithstanding, we expect all transactions to be completed over the coming weeks. Dianna, before I say anything, what are your thoughts? And remember, remember that this is an interactive program. The number to call, should you wish to lend your voice to this discussion, it's 457-9997. You can call us directly or reach out to us through WhatsApp. All right, so Dianna, your thoughts.
First thing I gotta say, nobody likes to work and not get paid. Whether you're from the lower class or the upper class or the upper class, nobody likes to work and not get paid, right? So I want to, before I comment on this second article where the person speak, it is unfortunate that an event like this has taken place. It's not the first. That is another unfortunate thing. It's not the first time we're hearing about something like this. So it's really unfortunate that after persons would have done what they did, we understand, well, I understand that sometimes and some things take time and the payments for some things is going to take time. But I always believe in communication, talking to people, letting them know what's going on instead of treating them like how the persons claim they were treated here. And then in the second article, the response of the supervisor, wow, how distasteful. How very distasteful as a supervisor for them to respond in that way. The first John Doe. The second, okay, we have a call. So, okay, we lost the call. So the second John Doe responded, the one who responded and saying, you know, we shouldn't be responding like this, such and such is the case. I agree with that person. I really don't agree with the one before, because it should be understandable that once you've done some work, you expect to get paid. If a certain time passes and there is no communication, I think it's obvious that people are going to get worked up. People are going to feel some sort of way. They're going to reach out. And boy, in my small opinion here, I believe that you should explain, even if I can't say, well, up there so and give me what I'm supposed to get yet, at least give them a reasonable explanation to comfort them, you know, to ease their mind so they can know how to go forward with whatever. That's peace from me.
All right. So I am in agreement with what Dianna said. I think the starting point, though, for me is persons may have felt a bit of comfort or thought in terms of who it is that was organizing the event, right? It's an international event, that their money was going to be, quote unquote, sure. Now, I'm not saying that the money isn't sure, right? But persons may have felt a bit more comfortable or felt that it was going to be a more secure thing, where a situation where directly after working, not too long after working, that they were going to be paid. The problem I tend to have sometimes is that persons would hire you to do a job, right? Rather than stating upfront that it's going to probably take, let's say, a 2-week period, a month period for you to receive payment, they don't say anything at all, right? I do not like when persons make it sound as if when you're asking for your money, it's a bad thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I should not be having to go ahead. You could go ahead and take it. Hi, caller. Good. There. All right.
I think we lost.
It should never get to a point where I have to reach out to someone to ask them where my money is. If there is going to be a delayed system, whoever it is that hired me directly, you are supposed to communicate that. I am not begging for a job. I have already offered the service. I've already provided the service. I am expecting to be paid. That is a reasonable expectation that I am going to be paid. Now, the thing of it is that maybe the timing of the payment is what comes into question here, because persons may have expected that upon completion, or maybe soon after, or maybe like even a week grace period, or a 2 week, or even at the end of the month, whatever the situation is, that they were going to be paid. But to not say anything at all, and to be acting as if it's wrong for me to be asking for this money or asking where this money is, these are the situations that get me really upset, right? Because I just think it's manners and it's respect. That's what it comes down to me. It's a matter of manners and respect.
Yeah, because if I've done a work for you and, I give you some time, I ain't say anything, maybe a month pass or so, and I don't hear anything. And then when I reach out to you about it, I'm either not getting a response. Okay, let me take this call before I lose it again. Hi, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Just to jump in quick on that touchy subject. I was about to deal with that because right here in our country, I don't know if you look at people and make your own judgment about who we are and you treat us accordingly. Is there a certain social bracket? You're given much respect, courtesy, and all of that. Because, come on, St. Vincent and Grenadines is not a rich country. I agree, it's not a rich country, but you hire me or you hire people to work. They don't do the work and expect to get paid. But again, you see, sometimes you have to think of so much things when you are seeking employment. How long am I going to work for? A salary pay or whatever, and how long will it take me to get my money? Because we live in an impoverished country. And when you speak like this, some people, because, come on. I know if I'm going to hire somebody to do something for me, I know I have to pay them, right? And communication is where communication comes into. So that if anything happens, we must be able to deal with whatever the issues and so on. Government here owes so much people, and you hear them complaining, they work for months. And we have to speak about these things because the example you set is what is going to follow where employment is concerned. Are you not aware? Or maybe because those are down at the bottom of the social economic ladder, so to speak. Because they're poverty stricken, they have to wait, and it's always the small man who has to suffer. So, Lord have his mercy, you better be careful. But that's our problem. That is our problem. And if you don't speak out strongly against it, it will continue to rain. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dave, for that contribution. Yeah, for me, it really just does come down to respect. And respect for me is communicating is a form of respect.
Exactly. Because if in a situation like this, I would definitely feel like nobody, like you treating me like nobody. I'm not somebody, I would definitely feel that way if I'm reaching out to you and you're not giving me the communication, the littlest form of communication that I think I deserve.
Yeah, because remember the thing too is that even if, yes, some monies would be delayed, but persons would be able to adjust and to budget accordingly, because some persons may have already pre-budgeted, or well, I shouldn't say pre-budget. Budget is something that you do in advance. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I need to ask a question. Who did that job? Was it they did it directly from the Cricket Association, or they would contract someone that got the job and they hire people to do the job?
It sounds like they were contracted. It was a contractor, and then persons were hired under whoever got the contract. That's what it is I'm gathering.
But listen to me. If I sign up to get a contract, I must know that I have money to cover my employees before.
That's another thing as well.
I'm supposed to. I'm not supposed to tell them that the people up above didn't pay me. I'm supposed to be able to cover you.
That's a very important point as well, Coach. Yes.
People talking about Cricket Association. They have nothing to do with Cricket Association. If I hire you, I need to pay you. I don't know what. I do not know Cricket Association in your contract. So I don't understand why people put in cricket. So yes, cricket association need to pay the person who they contract with. But me as a person, if I hire you,
right,
I don't want you come and tell me not about how cricket association ain't pay me.
Very important
You're supposed
point.
to be able to supposed to cover that. That's that. When you you have to have insurance to insure your workers at least will get paid. Somehow you can't wait that you want and suppose cricket association ain't pay you for 4, 5, 6 months. I have to wait for that. No, I'm not supposed to. You're supposed to cover me. You hire me. I don't know the cricket association.
Very important point. And that's the thing, you know, it happens not even just in this situation, but in other situations where somebody hires somebody, but rather than having the money up front, they're depending on whoever it is hired them to pay them before they can pay workers. And it shouldn't be that way. As Coach was correctly saying, is that you hired me, whoever directly hired me, you're supposed to have the money to pay me.
Yeah. You're supposed to be if you go for a contract, it's just like if I give you my house to build, and you say you have enough money to cover the first 2 months of the house building, and then I will pay you at the end of after you have spent, you show me your invoice, I pay you. So you waiting for pay when I pay you from your invoice to pay your workers. You're supposed to pay your workers weekly so they can come to work and finish my job.
Very true, Coach. Thanks for that. Yes, very true. Yeah, and it's one of those situations where, you know, sometimes companies or persons put out these bids or they want to be hired for certain jobs. And to be honest, I think sometimes in some instances people take on a lot more than they can chew, they can manage. While it is that, yes, you may have a group of persons working under you and you put in for a bid or you put in for a contract and it's awarded to you, sometimes the payment process takes forever, right? But in the meantime, you have to pay people because people have to find, number one, a way to come to their job, right? Transportation money has to be found somehow. They have to eat. They have to provide for their families. Exactly. They cannot be waiting to hear that I am with you as my employer. You're waiting to receive money before I can come to the job. No, it can't be that way, you know?
And when things like this happen, I think it deters persons from either working with the same persons in the future or even recommending people. Because I have been a part of something similar where I did a job and a year after we still had not received payment. And I used to feel so ashamed having to inquire, like, is anything going to happen? And then the following year, so it was a program. I was part of the program. A year later, we're not getting paid. Till I forget about the thing. Honestly forgot about it. And then the next year, now they want to do the same program again. Of course, I said no, I'm not going to do it. And a friend of mine, the person's reached out to her and she was like, wait, you did this program and I'm going to do it. I was like, oh, well, this is what happened last year. So it's up to you if you want to make that decision. I'm not sure if that person did it, but I know somebody else who did the same program. And I'm telling you, as we speak, 3 years later, she has not received payment. No payment. And when she called, she even messaged me the other day asking for some number. She called this person, the person would say, oh, this person responsible for it. When you call this person, so this whole around about 3 years.
Yeah, so, and it is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. You know, to be honest, after I have to ask for payment 3 times, if I ain't get it, I would say that's it. I ain't calling again. Yeah. But the thing of it is that I probably shouldn't even let it slip like that either. You know, the thing of it is I really should be on the person's case for payment, but I don't want to have to seem like I am begging for my money. Exactly, because
that's how it eventually
I've already
feels.
worked for it. I'm not begging for my money. I've already worked for it. You know, but and even in the as Coach mentioned too, I know of another situation where with a contractor, you know, have staff on board, but they're waiting. Well, through mismanagement, it seems. They don't have enough money to pay their workers. Now, workers do not want to turn up for the project. They're saying that they're not going because if that person has to pay them directly, they're not going. Can I fault the people? I can't.
No,
you know, I cannot fault them. You know, and it's all of these things. But it's really an unfortunate situation, and really and truly. So yes, apart from what Kojo said to us, really and truly, they should have the money up front. I also think that communication also plays a very important part of it, right? If you respect me, you are going to communicate with me, because at the end of the day, another similar situation may come up, another such event may come up. You are going to want to have people to work for you. If you've already started off on such a negative footing, where are you going to get the people from?
Question.
You know, so
question.
It's all these things. Let me see, what is it that this person's saying? All right, so we have a comment here. Do these contractors get a background check of their finances before getting the contract so they're able to cover expenses and salaries? Callie? Very good question.
That's a hot question there.
Very, very, very good question. I want to think that for internationally funded or even regionally funded projects, I want to strongly believe that yes, they have to show such information, right, before they can secure any sort of awards. But in terms of like a domestic sense, I don't know. I don't know if it happens all the time. Let me say it all the time, right? But yeah, sad situation. But I know that I believe that the money would come through, right? Yeah. I strongly believe that the money would come through. It's just when. All right. But persons are going to have to make do for now until they get it. And you know, the unfortunate thing is that if you have to take a loan to cover whatever things you thought were going to be taken care of with the money that you thought you were going to get immediately, yes, so you have to take a loan. Now you have to repay that plus interest.
That puts you at another disadvantage.
You know, but respect, right? Employers, it really does come down to a matter of respect. Respect and communication.
Let people know what is what. Even if you can't go into details, we understand some things you cannot share or you're not allowed to share, but at least some basic communication, man, to calm people's nerves, you know.
Or to just prevent people from being disgruntled. Yeah. That's the whole thing, from disgruntled and not wanting to show up and all of that, you know. So all right, so that was our topic today on delayed payments on the ICC World Cup cricket. And we are going to take a break at this time, and then we'll be back with more commentary on today's Activated Mornings program. We'll be with you shortly.
It's time to